gentlemen, welcome here tonight to a just a little bit of a darker night than usual for softball. We have some inclement weather in the area. That's why we're starting a little bit late, but we're here with SGTV. I'm JP Barry. He's Spencer Ball to bring you tonight's matchup between number 14 ranked South Carolina and number 19 ranked Alabama. And Spencer, even with, the weather changing things a little bit, there's a little bit of a different air around tonight, isn't there?
There is. I mean, we couldn't, touch on how big the crowd is here today as it's senior night. They've honored all the seniors for South Carolina and even Alabama, which is a nice gesture of sportsmanship. But nonetheless, fans from all over the Southeast, families, they're all here at Beckham Field, and I think that adds some stakes to this game. Not only do the Gamecocks need to win if they still want a chance in taking the series against Alabama, but, they've got all the people that have supported them all this way in the crowd tonight. JP, I know that lights a fire under you.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. A lot of high school teams in attendance as well. It's pretty much teetering on the brink of a sellout here at Carolina Softball Stadium. And Spencer, like you mentioned, you still got a chance to win the series. You can't sweep because of what happened last night. South Carolina's going to have to respond after a run-rule defeat against Alabama, 13-1 in last night's contest. And now, Spencer, tell us how the Crimson Tide are going to line up to try and take this series tonight.
Yeah, and first off, JP, just touching on yesterday's game, the Crimson Tide, it felt like they ended the game before it started. That huge 10-run top of the second inning. They just got all the bats going. And speaking of the bats, we'll run down their order. Leading off and playing center field, it's Audrey Vandegrift. In left and batting second is Lauren Johnson. At second base, the three-hole hitter, it's Callie Hevelin. The cleanup hitter and playing third is Brooke Elstad. Batting fifth and playing shortstop, Salyn Hawkins. The first baseman and batting sixth, it's Abby Dukeshire. We've got a new catcher today, so behind the dish for the Tide, it's going to be Riley Valentine. And the designated player is yesterday's catcher, Marley Giles. And rounding out the order, the right fielder, Larissa Pruitt. And, of course, on the bump for the Tide, it is number 7, Caitlin Riley, getting her first action of the weekend here today. JP, would you tell us about the home team?
Yes, I will. Starting off in center field, it's Quincy Lilio, number 43, the center fielder. Then batting second, the second baseman, Carly Shelton. Batting third, the first baseman, Ariana Rohde. Batting fourth, the third baseman, senior Ella Chansey. Batting fifth, the catcher, Lexi Winters. Batting sixth, the shortstop, the senior, Brooke Blankenship. Batting seventh, the right fielder, the senior, Abigail Knight. Batting eighth, the designated player and senior, Emma Sellers. And then batting ninth, in left field, the senior, Emily Vincent. And on the mound, it's a senior, Sam Gress, who came into last night's game, had a little bit of a rough outing, which who didn't?
I think, really, it was a very one-sided affair yesterday, but definitely going to look to turn things around. But for South Carolina, as we talked about, really getting a lot of the seniors involved here on senior night makes a lot of sense.
Yes, it does, and it's a team that, they're just itching to get back at it. And for Alabama, they're looking to take a series and propel themselves towards, hosting territory. That's where South Carolina's looking to get to, too, with the SEC tournament on the horizon next week. We can't look ahead of these last two games of the regular season for both South Carolina and Alabama. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you guys for the start of action in the top of the first. the softball stadium as Alabama is stepping up to the plate to lead off the top of the first, and for the Crimson Tide, it's the freshman Audrey Vandegrift. 48 stolen bases on the campaign, Spencer, and she takes the first pitch for a ball there from Sam Gress.
Yeah, I mean, Vandegrift is, we talked about it yesterday. It's a tough choice to try and pencil or, circle Alabama's best player. But if you had to pick one, it's probably been Vandegrift, just an on-base machine, and she knows how to run when she gets on.
The 1-0 pitch is low. She was able to get the bat back as well there. So a 2-0 count to Vandegrift, who's 33 walks on the season. And, I mean, her OBP is over 500. I mean, those are Aaron Judge type numbers. The 2-0 pitch from Gress. In there for strike one. A little bit of a delayed call there by home plate umpire Aaron Golden, but I thought that one was pretty clear.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely a good pitch from Gress. It just didn't seem like Vandegrift wanted any part of it.
Now it's a 2-1 count. Gress toes, fires. Lined over to Rhodey at first. She collects and steps on the bag for the first out in the first inning. So quick work there by Sam Gress. Quite the opposite from what we saw yesterday, Spencer.
Yeah, that's a way to start. I mean, yesterday we saw a lot of lengthy at-bats from Alabama. They just, JP, it seemed like they were refusing to strike out. And, the best rule of hitting, put it where the defense isn't. Alabama seemed to have that down to a T yesterday.
And Lauren Johnson, the sophomore from Franklin, Tennessee, will step in now as Gress fires. In there for a strike.
Yeah, and again, yesterday the problem wasn't throwing strikes. It was more
finishing off batters.
Getting outs was a tall task for South Carolina.
And Gress has what she wants. She winds, fires. That one is grounded over to second baseman. Shelton collects, fires to Rhodey for the second out. So 2 quick outs here for Sam Gress on the mound, looking like she has something to prove here on their senior night.
Yeah, not only senior night, South Carolina, if they want to host a regional, this game is huge. Alabama's ranked a little bit lower than them, 2 very similar teams in the SEC and national rankings. This is a huge game. Try and force a rubber match tomorrow.
Yeah, and in steps Kaylee Hevelin. And she had a big game last night, Spencer, didn't she?
Yeah.
Everyone did.
Everyone did, but she joined in. I would say Alabama's best power hitter. Didn't quite get a hold of one in yesterday's affair, but 13 homers and 40 RBI is no slouchy numbers.
And that one just barely misses. It'll run the count 1-1. But, yeah, for Hevelin, 13 home runs, 7 doubles, 2 triples. She had a couple singles yesterday and walked.
Yeah.
Got that OBP about near 500. Her slug percentage is 745. Is Gress looking in here now with the 1-1 pitch. And that one is lined off of Gress over to third base. She fires, and she is not in time. So, Callie Hevelin with a little bit of a, don't want to say lucky, but that one.
It was hit really hard off of Gress, so I don't think, it's definitely going to go down as a hit, of course.
Yeah. I was going to say, I would hope they wouldn't field that as an error.
Ella
Chansey did everything she could there as they'll come out and check on Sam Gress there. She took that one off the heel, it looked like.
Yeah, that one, I think, it did take an unfortunate – it kind of got under it a little bit off the bounce off of Gress. So, Chansey was just kind of waiting on the ball to come down. Gave Hevelin a lot of time to run, but Gress does seem to be okay, just kind of working out in the circle.
Yep, they're going to give her a couple warm-up pitches here. So this is also how the first inning was yesterday with South Carolina getting the 2 outs. And then Alabama had runners on, and they were able to get that first inning run. And Alabama moved to 23-9 yesterday when they score first, Spencer. So for South Carolina, it's imperative you get out of this one early. You got to, put a stop to all the comparisons between this team or this game and yesterday, if you can.
It felt like a fluke, JP. It really, Alabama played their game, but it feels like South Carolina just wasn't the team we usually see show up. But in that case, that's a good thing for them. You can just forget about yesterday. You still got a chance to win the series.
Here steps Brooke Elstad, the left-handed hitting third baseman for the Crimson Tide, the senior. That pitch is low for ball 1.
One of the few people on this Crimson Tide roster to not get in on the hit parade yesterday.
Yeah, I know. From Kimberly, Wisconsin. A little bit of a journey.
I would say.
The 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed by Elstad.
I mean, already in the top of the first, we've maybe seen more whiffs from Alabama than we did all game yesterday.
Yeah, that's the truth. The 1-1 count here as Gress toes, winds, fires. That one is fouled away into the netting behind home plate. Bounces right to Gress on the mound, actually. So that's
very slick there from Gress.
They have the numbers on the field for all the seniors that were honored today for South Carolina out there in center field below the interlocking SC logo. Gress winds, fires, swung on and missed. Sam Gress responds in emphatic fashion. Only went a third of an inning yesterday. Today, she retires Alabama in quick succession. We'll be right back here for the home half of the first inning. Stick with us here on SGTV. And welcome here for the bottom of the first between number 14, South Carolina, number 19, Alabama. For the Crimson Tide, they went down pretty quickly in the first inning. They'll look to do the same to the South Carolina lineup, but stepping in is Quincy Lilio, one of South Carolina's many good hitters who didn't have so good a day yesterday.
Yeah, it's really looking to put that game behind them, bounce back here, but again, the top of the order seemed to struggle more than the bottom half for the Gamecocks. It was the 5 through 9 who did a lot of work.
It's true, as that pitch misses outside there from Caitlin Riley. Tell us a little bit about the starter for the Alabama Crimson Tide tonight, Spencer.
I sure will. Caitlin Riley is a 2.48 season ERA. She's thrown just over 100 innings and is 10-2 on the season.
That pitch misses down and away for ball 2. So Lilio, who owns 40 walks, which would lead just about most teams in America, but not for the Gamecocks. She's second behind Ariana Rhodey. But here's Riley with the 2-0 pitch. That misses. Protestation from the Alabama dugout and from Alabama's catcher, Valentine. Wondering where that one missed, but here's the 3-0 pitch to Lilio, and that one's down, so a 4-pitch walk to open up tonight's action.
That's much more like South Carolina softball. You know, you don't get
yesterday
any good
the
pitches.
top 3 went down in about 9 pitches.
Yeah. But, you know, even though the score was 13-1, we were talking about it, a lot of the batters were putting together better at-bats. You know,
the game was just well out of hand.
It was just out of hand.
Now steps up Carly Shelton, second baseman. That pitch is in there for a strike.
Shelton again didn't have a great day yesterday, but an outstanding season. 357 hitter, leads the team in doubles.
She's just a sophomore as that pitch skips in for ball 1 to even up the count.
And if I recall correctly, JP, she graduated high school early and joined the team, so even younger than her sophomore, class ranking.
Yeah, I mean, as the 1-1 pitch is lined into left center, ranging over and making the catch is Johnson for Alabama. Nice piece in there by Carly Shelton, just a better defensive play by Johnson.
Yeah, again, she barreled that one up pretty nicely, but Johnson quick to react, and I feel like you got to be against this South Carolina offense.
No, yeah, as that one was a 2-1 count with Shelton getting a nice pitch to hit there. Now Ariana Rohde will look to do the same thing as that pitch is in there for a strike. Rohde, her walks overtook her hits last night. She now has 43 on the season and 42 hit in the hit column. As Riley looking in, she has her sign, winds, and fires. That one misses. A little bit of a fastball inside there. They'll even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, I think it was also a hair low, and we talked about Rohde's walk numbers. She's statistically got the best eye on the team.
Yep, and as Riley fires here, that one misses outside, trying to nip the corner there. She wasn't able to do it, and now it's a 2-1 count to Ariana Rohde. And frankly, if Rohde isn't, even thinking about swinging, if you're an umpire, you're going to take her word for it. As Riley, the 2-1 pitch. And that one misses inside, so the count runs to 3-1 now.
Yeah, and she's really painting right outside the zone, seeming to be. The first inning, you kind of get a feel for what's going to be called.
Yep.
She's not getting any of them so far.
And the 3-1 pitch. And that is low for ball 4. So Ariana Rohde with her 44th walk of the season. That'll put runners on first and second with 1 out for South Carolina. And it'll bring up our first senior in the lineup, the third baseman, Ella Chansey.
Ella Chansey's had a really great year, really great career. Hits .310, 44 hits on the season.
And that pitch is in there for strike 1. Got it on the outside corner there. Yeah, Chansey, she's one of those players for South Carolina. She just gets so much better with runners on. Hits .341. She already hits .310 on the season, but as Riley going through her windup now, she fires. And that one is lined over to short. Fires over to first for the second out of the inning. Lilio almost in danger of just getting tagged there. That could have been a brutal double play. But Shelton gets the runners over. So now after South Carolina, a base hit could put you up 2-0 with the catcher, Lexi Winters, stepping up to bat.
It's a nice play from Hawkins, who didn't even think about tossing that to second. First again to Alabama, one of the best teams at forcing double plays on the year.
And the first pitch for Winters is sent into left. That one is carrying, and it is gone! Lexi Winters! Right over the Super Regional sign on the wall here at Carolina Softball Stadium. Deposits one into the bushes and puts South Carolina up 3-0.
Felt like she was due for one of those, JP. How many deep doubles off the left field wall have we seen from Lexi Winters? This time, she just decided to clear the wall. Gamecocks lead it early.
Yes, they do, and for Lexi Winters, I mean, you saw Carly Shelton kind of got a hold of one. It just kind of hung up in the air there. Winters got that same pitch and just barreled it up and drove it out of the park for an early lead for South Carolina, and that'll bring up Brooke Blankenship, the senior shortstop. That pitch misses inside for ball 1.
Here's our second senior in the lineup here, Brooke Blankenship. Again, been with the Gamecocks for a while now, the everyday shortstop since we've been around.
And now it's a 2-0 count there as that pitch misses. That pitch is in there for a strike. So 2-1 count now to Brooke Blankenship. 31 RBI with just 1 home run on the season. Batting .276, but with a .355 OBP. And that pitch is lined over to short, collected and fired to first to end the inning, but not before South Carolina grabs a 3-0 lead off the bat of Lexi Winters. A 3-run home run puts South Carolina in front. We're going to head to the top of the second here. Stay with us here at SGTV. And welcome back here to Carolina Softball Stadium. Thank you for choosing SGTV as your provider of Carolina softball's coverage tonight. Gamecocks
unbiasedly the best.
It's true.
Yep.
Gamecocks lead 3-0 after one inning. Off the bat of Lexi Winters was a 3-run home run, and now Sam Grass will toe the rubber to try and keep the Gamecocks out in front.
Yeah, Winters really had one of the best games of any Gamecock yesterday. Had a big double again off that wall at the first hit of their game, and threw out Vandegrift for the first out of the game. Thought that was a sign of things to come. But
that we did. Stepping in for Alabama, it's Salyn Hawkins. She takes that first pitch in there for a ball. Sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Bats .316.
Yeah, really bumped that average up yesterday. She went 3 for 3, reached base every time, and was just a real threat.
Yep, and now the 1-0 pitch from Gress. That one is fouled away over the South Carolina dugout. And now if you're South Carolina, well, you're up 3-0, and the game was already delayed due to weather. And we got weather coming in. We don't know when it's going to hit, but the clouds don't portend good fate.
8 after 5. That's going to be your key phrase if you want to get out of here.
You know, getting through. If you get through 5 complete innings, that's
very true.
You get the game official in the scorebooks. You see what happens. That one is grounded back to Grass, fielded calmly, and fired over to first for the out.
And for South Carolina, yesterday it was a grounder to the pitcher, Jory Hurd, and she overthrew Rhodey at first. That was really, where things started to go wrong.
It seemed like the moment was a little too big for him.
Yeah.
And now stepping up for Alabama, it's Abby Dukeshire, the first baseman, the junior from Kindred, North Dakota. She had a big game yesterday. Everyone did. We're not going to say that every time someone steps up. But
yeah, but that's an even longer journey than the player from Wisconsin we were talking about earlier.
Point.
North Dakota. It's more than a hop, skip, and a jump away from Tuscaloosa.
And Grass the pitch. Misses for ball 1. That one had a little bit of a rise on it, I think, but just couldn't quite clip the zen. Interesting alignment here as, umpires are talking to the. They talked to the players on the field. Now they're talking to the coaches. I'm not quite sure what they saw. I hope it wasn't lightning.
That is the hope.
Okay, it seems like we were just delayed for no reason. That's good.
And we sure won't get a reason there.
No, we're not important enough. But anyway, South Carolina's defensive alignment with Dukeshire up. You have you have Ella Chansey over there. No, that is Carly Shelton.
Where are we talking?
I think over there at number isn't. Never mind, I can't read. No, that's Ella Chansey over at third. Well,
what's going on here?
Now Ashley Chastain Woodard is coming out to talk on the mound. Maybe equipment issue?
I don't know. Pat Murphy is also addressing the Alabama team near the dugout, so not.
But, no one's being pulled off the field. So, anyway, okay. I don't know what we'll see.
Not sure. It's not one of those things where the umpires are going to, turn on the radio and tell everyone what happened.
No, we don't get to that. But anyway, South Carolina's defensive alignment, going back to that, you got Carly Shelton standing right behind the bag at second base. Blankenship and Chansey shading over, so it's a heavy shift for the righty Dukeshire with a wide-open hole where second base usually is. I think there was a bird resting on the netting for foul ground and almost just got nailed by that.
Yeah, almost got Randy Johnson, but
scared it so bad it's hiding now in the banister. Can't blame it.
Good for that bird. I mean, that was a quick reaction.
Good instincts there. And Dukeshire now in a 1-1 count. That pitch is in there for ball 2. Rise ball missed the zone.
I feel like yesterday we saw South Carolina shift some, and then Alabama would put it right where the shift left.
So we'll
it
see
was just untimely.
The bat control on display from Alabama was really impressive, and we'll see if they can continue that today because there's some space here for Dukeshire if she can kind of poke it the other way, but that one's fouled away into the netting. Run the count up to 2-2.
And Gress sometimes likes the curveball as her put-away pitch. She'll really hammer that fastball, rise ball combo early in the count and then try to really throw off the hitter's timing.
Dukeshire showing slap hit here. She's squaring it up, and now that one is line foul. Down the third. Ooh. He was all over it just a little early.
I think it's such a fun thing in both diamond sports where it's, you know, the mental battle between pitching and hitting.
Absolutely. And the count still remains 2-2 as Gress toes, winds, fires. That one skips in for ball 3. She tried to get Dukeshire to chase that curveball down low. Couldn't quite get her to do it.
First full count of the night.
And that one is fouled away as Dukeshire will stay alive.
She was early on that one, but got a big hold of it. I mean, that one, you know, watch your cars out there.
Yeah, wind blowing in here at Carolina Softball Stadium, literally blowing into home plate from center field. So maybe Winters' home run got ahead of the curve there a little bit. The 3-2 pitch. That one is lined into center. Lilio charging. She dives. She can't make the grab. Base hit for Abby Dukeshire as Lilio just barely couldn't get to it.
And it was a really great effort, I should say, from Lilio. Just couldn't quite get the glove low enough there. Dukeshire hit it kind of to the perfect spot where it dropped, you know, shallow of center field. But Lilio did something great. If you're not going to catch it, at least make contact with it, knock it down. Because if that got past her, Dukeshire might still be running.
Yeah, this Alabama team, if nothing else, they are fast. Now the pitch to Riley Valentine is fouled away. Valentine playing catcher today. That's just 231 on the season, but has an OBP of 351.
And one of the few Crimson Tide players we didn't see yesterday, so it's going to be, we'll see how her first at-bat goes with who caught yesterday in the on-deck circle in Marley Giles.
Now the 0-1 pitch, and she squares up a bunt, lays it down, perfectly fielded by Gress and fired over to first for the second out of the inning. So sacrifice bunt by Riley Valentine will bring up Marley Giles, who was perhaps the player of the game yesterday for Alabama, Spencer.
If you had to choose one, it would have been her. I mean, 4 for 4 with a 3-run home run deep into left center field. I mean, maybe hit it farther than Lexi Winters just did.
Oh, almost certainly.
It was a tank from Marley Giles, so see if she can continue her big weekend.
And the pitch from Gress in there for strike 1. Runner on second here. It's Dukeshire over there after her single. She was bunted over by Valentine, and now it's Marley Giles in for Alabama, looking to get a run home, cut this lead down. The 0-1 pitch from Gress is fouled away, so quickly 0-2 here now.
It is, and if Giles reaches, that's where South Carolina could get into some trouble because the 9-hole hitter and then the leadoff hitter is Larissa Pruitt and Audrey Vandegrift, the two biggest speedsters on the team, a combined 63 stolen bases between the two.
It's pretty good.
That's a terror to have on the base.
But Gress looking to just end it all here. The 0-2 pitch. Line up and well out of playing territory. That one dropped into the seating behind the Alabama dugout.
Yeah, some lady there with like a little sun hat, maybe a Tilly, almost tried to make a sweet play and just catch it in the hat. Couldn't quite make it. She ends up with the ball, though.
Our count ends up still at 0-2 after that foul ball, and Gress winds, fires, and that one is barely missing. Not sure where that one missed, Spencer.
I maybe forgot to put the arm up. The entire building thought that was a strikeout.
Even Alabama's fans. Anyway, the count now 1-2 after that one. And the pitch from Gress is lined into left field. Fielded by Vincent. They're going to hold Dukeshire at third. Good fielding there by Vincent. And start, thinking about how yesterday it started with her bobbling a ball out there in left, and then they were able to send the runner. Now she fields it better and still have a chance to get out of this one scoreless. But Marley Giles, I don't want to say it, but she got away with one there.
Yeah, it certainly looked to be a missed call on our end. I mean, everybody was just waiting for that caught-looking, fist pump, but didn't happen.
Now it's Larissa Pruitt stepping up for Alabama. That pitch is in there for strike one, catching the outside corner. The junior from Hartselle, Alabama.
And again, Pruitt, the corner infielders are in, definitely expecting something to be laid down here. Or slap hit, I should say.
And Gress winds, fires, swing and a miss. An uncommon whiff by this Alabama lineup, but now Gress is back into an 0-2 count, one pitch away from getting out of this thing. Alabama has runners on the corners, looking to cut this lead down from 3-0. The 0-2 pitch, fouled away. Pruitt staying alive.
And as soon as I said Pruitt might lay down a bunt, I mean, she took the hack of all hacks there. But so now with 2 strikes, she's definitely back in the box, just trying to put the ball in play here.
The lefty Pruitt against the righty Gress. Gress has already lowered her season ERA back under 3. She's looking to lower it even further. She winds, fires, swing, and it was barely fouled away.
Barely made a sound, that one. It's hard to see if that one just missed Winters but it definitely got a piece of Pruitt's bat there.
I mean, frankly, maybe a blessing in disguise for South Carolina. That one could have gotten away, and there's no guarantee you make the throw to first for the strike him out or to complete the strikeout. So we're still in an 0-2 count. Gress winds, fires, swung on, and fouled away.
Another one where we weren't sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough angle up here, but I thought she had gotten that one.
This Tide team, man, they stay alive in counts. Really, they fouled off a ton of pitches yesterday until they put them into play.
Gress looking to finish it off here. She fires, misses low for ball 1, trying to get Pruitt to chase. Pruitt just has 10 strikeouts on the season. Gress looking at her wrist. She has what she wants. She winds, fires, fouled away by Pruitt.
Just a disciplined at bat, man. Everything that comes near the zone, even if she's not getting a big piece of it, she's getting part of it.
Gress looking at her wrist again. She has it. Winds, fires, sent over to Rhodey, who makes the catch on a hop and tags first base herself to end this threat in the top of the second. Well, now, whoa, what do we have? They called it foul? Whoa.
That's odd.
That looked 100% fair. Everyone was going to the dugout. This isn't us being biased, This was.
I don't know if he was looking because the ball bounced fair. I don't know if it went over the line.
Rhodey was fair when she caught it, from what we could see. But Gress looking to finish it herself in a 1-2 count. The pitch, fouled away. We'll be here forever.
It seems that way.
So runners on the corner still for Alabama. South Carolina leads 3-0 off the bat of the Lexi Winters 3-run home run last inning. We're in the top of the second here.
And if I'm counting, here comes the 10th pitch of this at-bat.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Gress looking at her wrist. She has what she wants. She winds, fires, line foul.
Let's do it again.
That one was definitely fouled down the first base line.
A correct call.
It's true. But both sides, some early displeasure with the officiating.
Didn't really have any yesterday.
No. What's his name? Reinecker called a good game. Gress looking to get out of this one. The 1-2 pitch. Line foul again. We'll keep going here.
I'm marking the little tallies for strikes, and I'm running out of room in my little scorecard here. It's Pruitt's. You got to give her a ton of credit for just staying in it, but man,
it's true.
Running up this pitch count.
Yes, she is. Almost single-handedly, as Gress has been able to retire a lot of people efficiently, but looking to finish this inning. Swung on and missed. Lexi Winters spikes the ball at home plate right in front of the umpire. And South Carolina gets out of this one. Alabama will strand the runners on the corners. We will head to the home half of the second inning after a quick break. Stick with us. And we're back here for the bottom of the second inning between number 14, South Carolina, and number 19, Alabama. Spencer was a long top of the second, but South Carolina escaped it unscathed. And we have Abigail Knight, the sixth-year senior from Robbinsville, North Carolina, stepping in.
Yesterday you give up 10. Today you give up 0. How about it?
I mean, and that one, Knight, first pitch swinging, puts that one into center field, but collecting it just before the warning track is the center fielder, Vandegrift.
Got a good piece of it, just maybe a little bit under it, and unfortunately for Knight, hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And something to note for South Carolina, the longer you can make this inning last, give Gress a little bit of time, try and get some hits together.
Yeah, but on the other hand, as that pitch is missing low for ball one, we did just get a warning over the PA of what we might have to do in case of, bad weather. And the clouds, they just keep forming.
They're setting in.
The 1-0 pitch misses for ball two. And, yeah, well, it could be interesting here as Riley will fire. That one is fouled away by Emma Sellers, another senior, this one from Lakewood, California. That's .320 on the year. This is her 51st at bat. No home runs, but wouldn't it be nice to get one here before,
that would be sweet.
Day.
No better time.
It's true. The 2-1 pitch from Riley is grounded right back to her. She snagged that one out of the air, fires over to first for the out. So 2 quick outs here for Alabama, and the flip side, Spencer, is for South Carolina. Maybe you want to try and get through this game as quickly as you can, get it official on the scorebooks, because you don't want to wake up tomorrow and have to play like
a 10 a.m. doubleheader.
And then exactly. As Riley will wind fire, that one's in there for a strike on the senior left fielder Emily Vincent from Elgin, South Carolina.
And the hard part about it is on the pitching, right? Because again, it's a limited pitching roster for in softball, but they do tend to throw a little bit more innings. So it's kind of tough how you balance that whenever you're having to play 2 games in a day without it being without it being scheduled.
Absolutely, as that pitch missed low for a ball on Vincent. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fouled away by Vincent, back over towards us.
And Vincent's the last senior in the lineup, so
Yeah, well,
we've seen.
With Lilio standing on deck. A 1-2 count here is Riley looking to pitch a clean inning. That one skips in for ball 2. It'd be a shame to waste his crowd. Hardly an open seat as the 2-2 pitch. Misses for ball 3, just barely outside.
And in fairness, I think that was a missed call as well. That looked like strike 3.
No, yeah, I mean, no,
100%.
Alabama fans not too pleased. It's been a tight zone here. And the 3-2 pitch is grounded over to third. Fielded cleanly, fires over, and they get her for the third out of the inning. Elstad with a nice play over at third, and now a clean 1-2-3 inning for Bama pitching. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back to you guys for the third inning of action. We are back here for the top of the third between number 14, South Carolina, number 19, Alabama. If you're just now joining us, South Carolina took a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first with a 3-run home run by catcher Lexi Winters. There's been really nothing else since. Alabama threatened in the top of the second with runners on the corners. Uh-oh. I think we just got lightning in the area.
That's bad news.
Well, folks.
It was fun.
Well, folks, it's funny that you catch us at this time because yeah, lightning delay just occurred here at Carolina Softball Stadium with, I didn't see anything, but umpires did.
Well, and it's one of those things you see you can't play through it
at
all.
Yeah.
Which
lightning
shouldn't play through
lightning
that one.
is the big no-no. There wasn't any rain in the forecast till 8, but once that lightning starts cropping up, they're going to roll out the tarp here. So keep an eye out on all Carolina softball social media channels.
And we'll give you updates when we get them.
Be here.
Yeah. We're just not going to talk to you for
That'd be funny.
We just a comedy hour.
It's our last road, man.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want. We're graduating in a week. They can't do anything to us.
That's true.
Let's do karaoke. All right, we're good?
Yep, we're live.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It's been a bit. I don't know, whoever's still watching this, you are sick of the head. But
Hello.
tonight's action has been called. The game will resume tomorrow at some point, either early in the morning or after Game 3. Should see us. But
The network has to play the game tomorrow at 12, so in all likelihood, it would probably be afterwards.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so hopefully you'll see us tomorrow. But if you don't, it's been an awesome 3 years. This would be a really funny way to end it. I hope we can come back tomorrow. But if we don't, it's been awesome. I'm JP Barry.
I'm Spencer Ball.
Hey, who'd have thought, huh? Not us. Have a great night, Carolina.